it, so you choose it. A bad shorty in my favorite list, calling me up on some late shit, trying to get up all in the mix, so I think.
What's up, people? This is your girl, PR Naya Rodriguez. I'm here with R3Banga.
You already know.
Listen, it's been a long time coming. We're on part 2 with this situation right here. I know you took a little hiatus for a moment. Listen, tell the people what you got going on right now.
Man, it's a lot going on right now. You know, I got been working with my homie James Knight, artist in the city. I've been took over the whole production side of his thing because our late friend Brian Cunningham, which was in my last interview, he passed away.
Wow.
So now I have a big role that I have to take now. Other than working on my own music, I have other stuff to work on as well. But so everything is on the up and up at the moment. You know, I have an EP I'm working on. I'm gonna be dropping in basically around like June.
Yes, sir.
For the summertime, getting everything together. It's gonna be about 8 songs. It's gonna be called No Genres. And shit, like I just basically try and get out, do more features on people's records, just to make this name where it used to be at now. You know, so that's basically like, shoot, I'm just grinding. Just grinding right now, you know.
Absolutely.
Nice luxurious spot that I'm in, you know.
Yes, yes. But you're always on the grind, though. I mean, come on now. Now you're being modest right now because I heard these bangers. There's a reason, you know, they call you Banger. You know what I'm saying? Because when you get into that studio, you lay it down. Like you really lay it down. I'm telling you, like you're one of the hardest MCs out here. Tell the people, listen. Tell the people exactly what it is that you do first and foremost, because like I said, you're trying to be modest right now. But you write, you produce. You know, nobody's writing anything for you. You're doing your own thing. You know what I'm saying? So talk about that. Talk about why you decided, you know, to write and produce your own music.
Now, for me growing up from the age of 16, when I first started doing my music with my friend Brian Cunningham, he actually taught me everything. So actually being down in the studio and learning how to produce and how to actually engineer, I took it upon myself to actually be like, all right, I'm gonna just do it myself. Because it's all practice at the end of the day, and the only thing you're gonna do is just get better and better.
Absolutely.
And better. You know, I worked at different studios as an engineer. I never worked in a studio as a producer because there's no money in there.
Right.
You know, so, but I started doing my own work basically because I'm cheap and I don't want to spend money in the studio.
Keep it locked in, right?
I'm cheap as shit. So
Yeah.
I ain't spending $150 in no studio, and I can make it myself with somebody else, or
Real
I can
talk.
just do my own work, you know, and
Absolutely.
just give it to a studio and get it mastered, you know, because it's easier for me, and I know how my vocals should sound. You know,
Absolutely.
Nobody else know you but you.
Real talk.
So,
real talk.
Yeah, and then coming off of doing production, yes, I learned how to engineer. Yeah, then I started writing songs.
Gotcha.
So, being a songwriter first, and then I started putting it towards myself because when I first started rapping and singing, I was very monotone. So in order to bring that expression and stuff at it, like it's like you gotta practice what you preach. So
Absolutely.
when I'm actually in the studio telling people, oh, you gotta rap, you gotta put more expression into your words, put more shit inside this and that.
Absolutely.
I had to do it myself.
Yes.
Now I'm doing records and it's like, oh, it sounds good what you're saying is right, but you're monotone.
Yes.
Everything is just one level. So I'm like, all right, bet. So took it upon myself to go back to the drawing board, do some practice, and then go in the booth and actually just practice on one song that I had. And I don't even have that song no more. It's so old. Like 20, for my summer, that's like 2014.
Like back in 2014? Okay,
yeah,
okay.
Like 2013, 14, I probably made my first song probably. And ever since then, I've just been...
Yeah, you've been killing it ever since. I'm saying, like, I'm kind of biased, and I say this when I come across artists it's really, you know, with some artists it's on them, and I say on them because they take on a persona that's not their own.
Right.
But with you, it's in you. You know what I'm saying? And that right there is something that we need, especially in this just generation and the hip hop culture all the way around the industry. Like, since I mentioned industry, what's the difference? Do you see a difference in when we first started out in this whole situation versus what's being pumped out there now into the atmosphere on the airwaves, you know, the kind of music we're hearing now. How do you feel about that as an artist that takes it to heart, that takes your craft and your artistry to heart? How do you feel about the way things are going within the music industry right now?
I honestly don't like it, and I feel like a lot of artists like myself and my homie James and people I grew up around, like even going back to like State Property, I'm going back to the old heads, like State Property, Figgas Gang, even Black Deniro and old heads I used to work with in the city. Like songs aren't being developed the way that people are fabricating a lot in their records.
Real talk.
They're not putting a lot of
capping.
To the maximum. You know, and you don't know what's real, what's fake nowadays. You know, when
true
it comes
story.
to music. And you got these young, like, I'm no offense to the young generation that's doing the music, but there's no thought being put into any of these songs.
Right.
All I'm hearing is people getting killed. This is this, this is that, and it's disrespectful in a way. Tell me if I'm wrong on this, right?
Right.
There's certain ways you can say bitch in a song and it's not offensive.
Exactly, you're true.
And like, I say bitch a lot. Like, I say bitch a lot, but it's like, oh, you fucking bitch. That's disrespectful. Or,
right.
Like the song is playing.
Yeah, it's playing in it. You guys can't hear, but you know, let me just plug this in. You know, you can actually go to my website, Philly Live and Uncut Magazine, and you're going to be able to see and hear a lot of his music because we're going to load that up. You know what I'm saying? But something's playing in the background. That's what he's making reference to. So real quick, you mentioned, you know, Black Deniro and the Figga Gang and all of that. Have you worked with any of those guys? And if so, you know, let us know some of the guys that you did some features with, maybe did some features with you on one of your albums. You know, let's put it out there.
All right, so Black Deniro was the first main artist I was working with in the city a long time ago. And he actually showed me a lot of love because we were actually family members at one point. He was talking to my cousin. So I didn't know that. He was at my crib for Christmas and all that one time, and I didn't even know he was at my house. That's when I first got my studio equipment and shit. My parents bought me when I was young.
Gotcha.
So I worked with Black Deniro, made like most of his album, like when he got out of jail and shit, his first album. Yeah. He put out and everything. I think his mom passed away and everything. That was a very good album for him, and that was like a very good practice point for me.
Gotcha.
Because that was at Uptop Studios on 68th and Ogun. If anybody know about that. That's where I actually started my shit out at. So
gotcha.
From there, I moved along to being around state property. Well, it was not the whole state property. I was around mainly Oschino.
Gotcha.
And
shout out to Oschino. Yes.
Shout out to my OG.
Yes.
Oschino, you mean doing his thing as he should be doing. You know, despite everything that went on with himself through these past couple of years, he's still strong.
Yeah. He's been through a lot, but anybody that can go through, you know, some tough times, trust me, I know. I had 3 in a row. You talking mom, spouse, then my pop. I just buried my pop, you know, so and being a female in this industry, facing all that adversity, like, you know, it's a lot of sassiness that goes on, and it's I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna let that sit because this interview is about you, but you know, I have to say that I appreciate you because you're not one of them sassy cats. Neither is Oschino. Right. By the way, I've never met him personally, but I know people who know him, and you know, he grew up. Yeah, he grew up. Yeah, he definitely does. You know, from time to time, I might see him. He come across the feed, and he say some real stuff. And as always, anybody that's out there living their truth and speaking their truth, you know, you're kind of like the black sheep. You know, that you're kind of like the outsider because everybody's so used to the fakeness. You know that. Real is almost non-existent. So exactly. So when you get a real person, you know, speaking real stuff, like even with your body of music, your body of work is real. You know, you're saying things that you've actually experienced, you've actually seen, you've actually been involved with, and a lot of this is just a bunch of fabrication. Right. And that's what differentiates you and the Oschinos of the world, and you know, a few others out there, even the Bull KP. Even with you guys, you know, you have a story to tell. Right. It's like a lot of this music that I hear lately, it seems like it's rushed. And most importantly, and what I love about y'all is y'all don't need a co-signer. You don't need somebody to feature on your album in order for your stuff to be hot. Right. It's you.
Need to feature on their shit.
Thank you, and that's what I'm trying to say. Like real talk. That's the message in and of itself. Like you're not a real MC if you can't drop an EP or an album and it just be all you.
Right.
You know when you know when you really fire. You know when you hot and you really have a banger is when you drop it and the people mess with you outside of somebody else. You know, you don't rock with. It's not about somebody else's name with you. And it's not about somebody else's name with people like KP and Oschino. Like, they do their own thing. They get on there, they do what they do. You know what I'm saying? Y'all do what y'all do. And that's where the respect, listen, I'm going to give respect where respect is due.
You know what's funny? Like,
Cause I'm the guy that gets to her rise, beating like a jet ski. Speed, kamikaze, yeah, we flexing.